Yeah, tough night for us, obviously. Give Akron a ton of credit. They came in here first half in particular. They were on point. We really struggled. We made it a game. We gave ourselves a chance, but we didn't make quite enough plays. But certainly, the effort in the second half, the effort the whole game was there. We just we got to play better, and again give them credit for their focus and sort of how they came into the game and how they approached it and how they played in the first half. So we'll learn from this and get better. And I'll let you ask these guys questions, and then I'll answer anything you guys have.
Yeah, Gio, Coach just mentioned it there. Just what was Akron doing in the first half to maybe cause some of those shooting struggles for you guys tonight?
I think some of it was just not being ready to play and just overthinking stuff. The second half, we were just taking what was given to us. We were open. We were taking the shots with confidence, and if not, we were driving and trying to create for somebody else. First half, there was a lot of overthinking.
And then just what was really the message from Coach to you guys at halftime for those? Because you guys really came out of the half strong and then played strong in the second half. What was really the message to the team during halftime there?
Just the effort and like I said, just make simple plays. Like we knew like the first half that's not how we play at all. We were lucky enough that it wasn't a 20-point game at halftime. It was only 14. So we knew there was a lot of game, and we didn't let that affect us, and we came out stronger in the second half.
And then it seems like you guys were really able to get to the line a lot tonight. Was that a focal point coming into this to try and get to the free throw line for you guys?
Yes, for sure. Our game plan coming into this one was trying to be aggressive and find shots for other players, and just rip and drive to get to the rim and create some type of contact with anybody to try and get easy points at the free throw line. So yeah, I'd say that was a very focal point coming into this game.
And then I guess just on the other side of that, are there any struggles when there are so many fouls being called for you guys to like get into a rhythm and then just stay in a rhythm when the game's having to stop so much?
For sure, definitely on both sides of the ball. If you are fouling, that could take away from some of your rhythm, and then if you're on the offensive end, that could kind of be like a good thing for you, getting easy points. But just can execute from the free throw line today. We got to be better.
Yeah, and Tyem, for you, obviously, your first game in this rivalry, but obviously didn't come out on the right side of it. But how did it feel to kind of perform out there tonight?
It was pretty good. Like Gio said, they came out with the punch at first, and I could say for myself, coming into the game, I did have some, I had to settle into the game, not nerves, just wanted to perform well, and kind of being the hero, and that wasn't what was needed at first, and that was the story of the first half. Everybody trying to play hero, and just trying to get off, and second half, settled down, got into the game, and
yeah. And then Gio, what could you say about the team's resiliency tonight when it came to turning it up in the second half for you guys, and how you can move that going forward?
I mean, yeah, like that's like the only positive, we can take from this game. But I don't think we needed to prove it again. Like we have proven it all along this season. Like we can play with anybody when we play the right way, and we play hard, execute our plays and our defense system. So I don't think we needed this game to prove that. Like I feel like we always had that. We just have to do it for 40 minutes and not just the last 12 of this game.
thank you.
Rob, the first half, a lot of second chance points,
Yeah.
a lot of points in the paint for them. I mean, big was that in reflecting your decision to maybe go back to Chris as early as you did after he picked up the couple of fouls?
Yeah. That was a big difference in the game, the first half, especially the first, 14, 15 minutes of the half. We didn't get a 50-50 ball. It didn't appear to get a loose ball rebound. Our transition defense was poor, and they outplayed us at every level in the first half. Certainly the first 16 minutes of the half, and then last 4 minutes of the half we did a little bit better, but obviously not enough because we dug ourselves such a hole that we were trying to climb uphill the whole night.
Yeah, just the last couple of seasons that you guys have had a really consistent lineup, and this year it seems like it's kind of changing almost game to game. Just what are the struggles when you can't have that to lean on when the past couple of years, and
Yeah.
you just had the same 7 guys that you can rely on going out there, and this year you're constantly having different people out there.
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's because of the consistency of play, and that's why our struggles are where they are. Like, Ty was great tonight, but the last game he didn't show up to play, and I need him to show up. The team needs him to be consistent night in and night out. And it's not just him. I only bring him up because, he was here and he made some huge plays tonight. And it's everyone. Chris Payton tonight, it was as bad as I've ever seen him play. And we need him. He's a preseason all-conference player. He's our leading scorer. He needs to play better every night. And, for us to have a chance. Last year, Sin and Malik, they were showing up every night. Vaughn was always consistent. Jalen was a spark plug off the bench. Claron was always consistent. You knew what he was going to do every single night. Myron had some ups and downs, but his ups were really up. And when they were down, he didn't play quite as much. But he was fantastic in big games. And right now we're missing that a little bit. There's some guys that I know every day what they're going to bring. And, they may not play well, but what the effort's going to be and how they're going to play and their mindset. And then there's some guys that it's just not where it needs to be for us to be as good as we'd like to be. And it's certainly disappointing that in the middle of January, that's where we're at. But that's where we're at. And eventually we'll figure it out. Tonight, again, as bad as we were in the first half, we were equally or, as good or almost as good in the second half. If we could have come up with a rebound, we did make a miss. If we could have come up with a rebound, maybe we tie the game and go to overtime. But we haven't gotten that big rebound enough this year. There've been a number of games where, we lost to Eastern Michigan in overtime. If we could have gotten one rebound in that game, we would have won that game. Wouldn't have gotten to overtime. James Madison, one more play, and on and on and on. So that's what we have to come up with. It's an intangible sometimes, and it's a tangible. And that's what, you give those guys at Akron a ton of credit because they're down guys too. Just like we're down guys. They're down guys too. And Tavari Johnson stepped up, and a number of guys, Amani Lyles hasn't played much. He came in the first half, got an offensive rebound off of Donovan. We got to come up with that ball and put it back in. And then obviously Ali and Freeman were, they were fantastic. So give them credit.
Yeah, then I guess just speaking of Freeman, just when he's having a game like that, just I guess what are the challenges as a coaching staff to try and come up and just try not stop him, but just try and slow it down and make it hard on him?
We obviously didn't do a good job. We haven't done a good job in any game that we've played against him. To me, again, I say this. First of all, I don't know him at all. I've only seen him when we play these games. He conducts himself like a pro's pro. I'm going to take out. I've been in this league for a long time, taking away Kent State players because we've had some great ones here too. I haven't seen a player as good as him in my 20-plus years for college. And again, I know there have been some NBA players, and maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I have no idea. But as a college player, there's nobody that I've seen taking away the Kent State guys, that has been better in my 20-plus years. Every night, he only had 8 rebounds tonight. That's probably his first non-double-double, but he's 11 for 16 from the field. Every possession, you got to figure out what you're going to do against him. Tonight he had 5 blocks. He doesn't block a ton of shots. Tonight he had 5 blocks, 3 steals. He to me, again, I'm taking Kent State players because we've had some great ones. But I've seen all these guys, first-round picks, early second-round picks, best play. This is the best kid I've seen in my time in the league. And I say this, too. There's some Akron. Are you guys Akron guys? Yeah, it's a shame because I watched their games. And John can't say this. I watched their game against Bowling Green and against Ohio to prep for this one, and there's nobody at the games. It's ridiculous. There'll never be a player like this in the MAC. In this era, 5 years he's been there. He was a walk-on to start. Unbelievable story. I wish he walked on here. I wish he's from Cleveland. I wish he came to Kent as a walk-on. But unbelievable player. And again, you have to game plan for him. So when he's not scoring, you still got to be aware of him. And honestly, I thought Mag, who doesn't play much for us, I thought he competed his butt off for us against him. So I was really proud of Mag for that because that can't be easy. Mag's a walk-on freshman who wasn't expecting to play at all, and because of all of our front court injuries, he played 12 minutes in the first half. He competed as well as anybody that I could have asked against him. So, and then Ali, getting eligible and going back, he's a good player, and he made some big ones down the stretch against us too. So, hats off to them. We'll face them again at least once, and we'll have to be ready. And I believe in our guys. We just have to get the consistency of that second half and really last 24 minutes, 25 minutes. We have to get that consistency. We have to find a way for that to be who we are, at all times.
Yeah, and then what could you say about the size disadvantage that you guys were working with? How were you trying to handle that offensively and defensively?
And it's tough because, again, to start the year, Vaughn's our starting 3-man, and now he's our backup 5-man. So their length posed a problem. They had 7 blocks. We had some too. We had 3 blocks, but that's certainly an issue. I think some of Jalen's finishes, they had Ali guarding him, and I'm sure that length bothered him a little bit. But Jalen's a competitor, and he's learning in this role too. Like, he's learning, and his attitude and his mindset for the last 10 days, his leadership has been off the charts good. And he's just got to learn from tonight and continue to get better because he's a great player. And nights like this will help him in the long run, as long as he's able to continue to internalize what he needs to do and grow from it. But, we'll get better from this.
Any other questions? All right. Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thanks.